Page 289. Good to see all of you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. This is activity 3, and this is, again, page 289, proofs of the congruent supplement theorem. And so I just need to check right here. I'm getting quite an extensive list of note cards, but eventually I want to make sure that I'm referencing a note card that we are using, and then that it's going to be visible for us for other times that we need to use it. So have this like as a note card, like in your pile of other things. Have some extra note cards ready to go, things to write with, and then you're going to need some scissors. As I'm thinking about it, we're actually going to do 2 pages. We're going to do 289 and 290 at the same time. And so in the textbook, I ripped out page 297 apparently, because page 297 has these statements that we're going to be sorting or card sorting. And so go ahead and rip them out, and then I'll cut them out as ready to use them. But let's go. Let's get right into it. Page 289. All right. Page 289. So it says in this thing here, consider what you know about angles. And you might conjecture that if two angles are supplementary of the same angle or of congruent angles, then the angles are congruent. There's a lot of words in there. One of them that pops up is the word supplement. And to be a supplement means to make 180 degrees. That itself might be worth its own like note card, right? Supplement. So write it out, supplement 180. Let's prove the conjecture is true. So here we have an example of angle 2 and an example of angle 4, and they have the markings on them that tell us that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 because of the number of arc marks. Like we want to see that they're actually matching, right? The other thing we know is that angle 1 and angle 2, bring in some highlight colors, angle 1 and angle 2 are glued together along a line. And so therefore, angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. Oh, so do angle 3 and angle 4. They also form a linear pair. Together, those two angles make a straight line. We think about those things of what it means to form a linear pair, to be supplementary, to compare angles that are like this. And so this is where we get into proof on congruent supplements. Let me zoom out for a minute here. Oh, of course, reminder. We're going to reason abstractly and quantitatively. We're going to construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. That's also part of our goal in this video. Let's take a look at these given statements. I've already addressed them in how I interpreted and tried to understand the diagrams. So the first given is what I commented on first. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, which I know because the diagram, those arcs, those angles have markings on them that let me know that they're the same. I also have that angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. Let me reference my notes. That means that they are supplementary. Okay, let me get on the screen here. Supplementary. And if angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, then so is angle 3 and angle 4. Those are also supplementary. So we're going to make that be our third given statement. Angle 3 and angle 4 form a linear pair, which means they are supplementary. Okay, so that's really all I'm writing down on this side of the paper. I'm doing 2 pages for this video because we're going to take those statements and we're going to sort them. We're going to make them line up. So I've got my strips of paper from page 297. I cut them out. And now we're going to use these cards and we're going to tape them down to the flow chart on page 290. All right, so get ready. Here it is. One last look at the givens. The goal, right? We should always identify the proof. The thing that we need to prove is that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. I mean, it kind of should be somewhat logical. If angles 2 and 4 are the same, then the things that they are compared with, those should also be the same. So yeah, I think it's going to be at least somewhat of a easy get, a low lift style for us to get there. Let's turn the page. Take a look at page 290, and let's complete this flow chart together using our cards that we got from page 297. Should have 5 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So the goal is to put them in order. And so I'm going to start with step 1. I wrote my givens out of their order. We can write our givens in any order. It's not necessarily important for us to do them in a specific way. Kind of move my face down to the bottom of the screen so you can see most of this. Here it goes. Angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2. So the first card that I pick up says, well, if angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2, that means that the two of them add to an 80. Boy, lucky grab on the first guess. You know, if two angles are supplementary to each other, then their measurements have to add up to 180. And because that card is the right card for step 4, I'm going to tape it down and make that card go in that space, or glue it or whatever you have, but make it be anchored there, okay? Angle 3 is supplementary to angle 4, and that's given because it was literally in the picture on the previous page. I bet if I find measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle, that's not it. Measure of angle 2 equals, that's not it. The measure of angle 1 plus the, no, that's not it. It's this one. It's the one on the bottom, apparently. I got the first one right. Here we go. The measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 180 degrees. That's because they're supplementary. That's going to get taped down right there. Oh my goodness. The struggle is real right now. Okay. The next one, angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. You know, if angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, then I better pick a tile that uses just angle 2 and angle 4, and it happens to be this one. All right. Given that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, then that means by the definition of congruent angles that the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 4. I'm trying to find my note card where I used that. But in the meantime, while I'm getting there, I'm going to tape this one down. Definition of congruent angles. All right, this one goes here because if angles are congruent, the same size, then their measurements are equal. Congruent angles have the same number for their measurement of their angle. When you know it, it's all the way in the bottom of my pile. Definition of congruent angles. I've got a note card for it. There's only 2 more steps, 2 more spaces left. So if I look at step 4, step 4 says the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. And step 5 says the measure of angle 3 equals plus the measure of angle 4 equals 180. These two things equal 180. Whenever you see a common like answer or result, that must be substitution. It's what it is. It has to be substitution. This whole thing, angle 1 plus angle 2, is going to be equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. In a previous problem where we did this, we used the transitive property. And we could still use the transitive property here, but the question was raised, could we just say substitution? Do we have to use transitive property all the time? No. Here's an example of substitution. It works. It's just as strong. That leaves us with one last one. Since angle 2 and angle 4 are the same, what we're going to do is just cross them out in order to get to step 8. Measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle 3. So with those cards and sorting them, we're able to sort them from start to finish in a logical order. And kind of zoom out here, give you the full picture on the screen. There it is. There is all 9 steps for showing that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. Thank you for watching this video. Activity 3 is going to continue where we turn this flowchart into a 2-column proof. So, if you will, pay attention for that. Click on the next video. See you on page 291. Thanks for watching.